Et salut à tous, c'est Goubi, on se retrouve sur une nouvelle vidéo de Disco Elysium. Alors, on va continuer l'enquête, il faudra qu'on écoute la bande magnétique.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reels attach to the apparatus with a satisfying.
Je vais pas la lire tout de suite.
Again, you find yourself looking at that big old window.
Note dans l'atelier.
There's a yellow ribbon tied to one of the branches. Light yellow, faded with time. A tiny splash of color in the blackness of the thicket. Hanging from it, a bronze key. Someone hid the key in the bush and attached a yellow ribbon to make it easier to find. It's close enough to the latch up there. One can slide it open and just take it. Surely not a coincidence.
Quelqu'un a caché une clé dans les buissons. Besoin que vos types me filent la clé.
And I need the fatty to get his feet amputated because the smell is killing me. We can't always get what we want.
God damn it, Dennis. You know I can't help it.
Sorry, fucko. These guys won't help you. Looks like you're gonna have to go bush diving. The hawthorn's got a bitch of a bite.
I'm gonna enjoy the sight of you in the bushes out there.
With a loud thud, the old man stands up, pushes the window open, grabs the key from the hawthorn branch, and slides it across the table to you.
Prendre la clé.
The key is brass. Workshop spare is etched into its bow. The old man closes the window and sits back down in silence.
Come on, man. We were just having some fun. Where's the...
I'm tired of listening to your shit.
Merci.
Don't thank me. I don't give two shits about your key.
There is a silence around this man's words. Unlike Titus, they're afraid of him. That's the type of respect he commands.
Quelqu'un sait pourquoi cette clé pendait juste derrière la fenêtre?
Didn't even know it was there. Boys.
No idea.
Never even seen it. Someone must have hidden it there before this room became our place.
Je me demande ce
It's
que
for
ça
the blue
ouvre.
door in the kitchen. There was a note there that you missed. It said the workshop key is behind the window. It's this key.
Ah, donc au final, j'ai trouvé la clé quand même.
You see a heavy steel door. The key fits the dimple lock. It takes a bit of effort to turn it.
Hey, was there something you knew?
On va retourner en haut pour écouter. Ah non, c'est pas pour...
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reels attach.
Bon, il est parti se coucher.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. It's barely covered in steam anymore. Like the rest of you, it comes from a bad place.
I was just thinking, what a nice evening it is for taking part in a murder investigation.
Maintenant qu'il m'est plus là, parlons de ce qui s'est passé.
Ah, yes. The night before I saw you in the hallway and reminded you you're a police officer.
C'est mes premiers souvenirs après avoir réintégré ce
Wow.
monde.
Elysium. You don't hear that term often.
She's a glib girl, but she liked the wording.
Vous avez entendu quelque chose dimanche soir dans ma chambre.
There was the usual ruckus. Loud disco music.
Vous avez de la visite?
I can't say. Probably not. Sounded like you were flying solo.
Vous avez parlé de musique disco?
Oh, yes. Various artists. Ostentatious orchestrations prime among them. Were huge where I come from. I was very young then, of course, like 7. Life gets hard, but we go on.
C'est ça, on s'accroche.
I don't know about that. At around 2 o'clock, the disco stopped and there was a change of pace.
Qui vient de se passer?
A slow, sad song started playing, like organ music on repeat. That went on for quite a while.
Est-ce que je
Some of that
chantais ça?
time you were yelling along to it.
Le petit église de Saint-Saëns.
Yes, there was a church in there. A really small church. Like the smallest, saddest church in the whole world. It was about that. And also,
Quoi d'autre?
that it doesn't matter anymore and that we're alone now. It was difficult to tell. The song itself was very quiet and soft, but you sounded like a wounded boar, sir. It was hard to understand what you were singing on top of it.
Désolé.
Don't be. I was going out later anyway. It didn't bother me.
C'est passé quoi?
Then you started screaming and trashed the place.
C'est sûr que je suis pas en train de me faire agresser?
No, it didn't sound like there was a fight. It sounded like someone was trashing their room. A window was smashed, the tape player probably, the song stopped. And furniture too. A real destructathon. There was screaming. Then I think you passed out.
Ok, il y avait rien
There
d'autre.
was. I think you screamed that you didn't want to be this type of animal anymore. I may have misheard, but it was sort of memorable. I went out afterwards. Everything was quiet by then. Around 4 or 5.
Merci.
No problem, sir.
Les Hardy m'ont remis un enregistrement d'après où il prouve que la victime avait l'intention de commettre ce crime.
It sounds like the boys would have preferred my saying it did happen. I didn't want to get caught up in this.
She is not at all worried the tape will contradict her statement.
What does that recording say?
Pas tarder à
May
écouter,
I
madame.
suggest the stereo system in your room? I'm sure it plays more than Oh and the Sad Small Church Band. Mine, unfortunately, only comes with a mimsy little radio.
J'aimerais revenir
Not my
dessus.
favorite topic, but okay. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
She meant she sees him in you. Pissed it all away.
How about we, change the...
The lieutenant's door, no response. What are you doing? The fan stands still. The switch must be broken, because nothing happens.
Je vais encore avoir
The bed is still cold from the broken.
mon cerveau qui me parle.
It's not easy, but your bones are so tired from what feel like weeks of work on the case. You have to try. After what feels like hours, you feel you might be sleeping.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around. Every corner and every street. Recorded in you. Forever.
vérité.
C'est ton avis de...
On and on it goes, for untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising, rising, above the dark curvature, the
Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time, the last time, the smoke.
It's the world, Harry boy, and you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now. You can never forget this shit.
Couleur et les voix.
All stuck on loop, whirling, spitting out words and images.
You're the son of the world again. Harrister, a ceaseless agent. Picking up litter and old newspapers. Collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Meaningless, meaningless keepsakes.
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
C'est exact, je suis un agent du monde.
You'll go insane if you keep going like this. One more day, and you'll be in the loony bin. I just know you will. And
for the greater good.
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector.
Are you sure? You could be closing the door on a brilliant and...
Did you hear that? He's renouncing politics.
Just another thoughtless vessel. Plowing the...
Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on. You barely slept 3 hours.
You can do it. It's nothing. Do it for the wind. Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together.
Again? I can't believe this.
The man ponders his cooking utensils. He looks up. Shrugging is an international sign for...
J'aime bien savoir qui avait la
Hey,
clé, quoi.
was there something you needed?
The porter reel is in push, command set, and the tape starts spinning.
This isn't Revachol. This is a fucking village. I can almost see the elephants.
The harbor. That's the son of a Kvalson crane.
He's right.
When this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier of the Apocalypse style. Kill shit. Dogs and chickens, too. Gonna run a room, Cordy. A real nice
Super.
I don't give a shit. I'm fucking done. I'm done mentally. I'll fucking do them all in. Rape that disco cunt on the counter. You know, the dance a whore upstairs. Do it cohoy style. Never did get that taste out of my mouth.
The lieutenant presses the button marked arrête on your porte-reel. The tape
Quoi, tout à la fin, le
stops.
End
silence.
of recording.
Qu'en pensez-vous?
It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off the shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. He sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor walls.
J'ai bien dit qu'il allait le faire, on peut pas trafiquer les mots qui sont dans la bouche de quelqu'un.
Indeed, but
There's more going on here than we know.
C'est qui ça, Corti?
Corti could be short for Cortenar, one of the other mercenaries, the one he was talking to. Probably the mountain at the harbor gates. Mr. Right to Work. A
Corroy.
village on the Samaran Isola, in South Safre. Grad committed war crimes there, the kind of thing he talks about.
C'est qu'il y était?
Who knows? Maybe the tattoos would have an answer. We would need to know the story of this man's service.
Ok, maintenant.
I think we've got a few more questions for class here, don't you? This seems to contradict her testimony, at least to some degree.
Hello, officer. What brings you up here again?
She puts her coffee cup down with a soft ring as the porcelain meets the metal table. This does not surprise her.
Did he? I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions. Only that he was never bad to me.
Sur la bande, c'est également vous qui devez vouloir prendre pour cible.
Where did they get this recording exactly?
It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via the encryption station. It's authentic enough.
Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style?
C'est exactement ce qu'il a dit.
Yeah. That was practically his pickup line.
A memory surfaces in her tired neocortex. It's not entirely unpleasant.
Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Kohoi style?
Oui.
He wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Kohoi. It wasn't his everything.
Pourquoi dire des trucs pareils pour jouer les machos?
Yes, was he bragging?
Oh no, I'm pretty sure he did all those things, then integrated them into his idea of normalcy, to keep on living, until they just sort of turn into his, what's the word I'm looking for?
Son personnage?
Running joke. I was gonna say running joke. And it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way, way funkier than that. He was like the Seminoles conflict, the Kohoi massacre, and the 36 famine in Yezut all rolled into one person, then cast in Orani ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower.
When he said he was done, and done mentally, it didn't sound like a joke. It sounded like a deeply troubled man.
Une seconde, il a dit qu'il était psychologiquement détruit. Pour moi, c'est le discours d'un homme brisé.
Well, maybe I pieced him back together with my magical personality.
Vous n'avez pas peur?
Afraid of what? That tape the Hardy Boys recorded? Your mother probably never told you this, but girls are evil. Had I the physical robustness and social support, I'd be in Kohoi. I would be tearing it up Soldier of the Apocalypse style.
She wouldn't. She doesn't have the full Hoi in her.
Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things here in Martinez, I mean?
No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed happy, I guess. At ease. As much as a man like him could be.
There is a small measure of pride in her that she could quell the rage in such a being. What kind of man was he? Before you go, ask for details. She seems...
Thank you for clearing that up, miss. Whenever you're ready. I'm interested to hear what Titus Hardy has to say.
She takes a very small sip of her coffee and smiles.
Vous êtes mieux disposé, j'aimerais que vous m'en disiez plus sur la victime.
Like, for example, his name?
Actually, officer, I didn't know his name. I just called him Lely.
A nickname?
I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him, but it was no use.
Lelystad. That's a good start. We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can't answer.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. On it is a list of autopsy observations, recorded neatly in blue ink, the last missing pieces of a puzzle of flesh.
Où est l'Elystad? L'endroit?
In Oranje, officer. It's, I think municipality is the term. A nowhere town there.
You were almost right, officer. That means his race was occidental, not mondial. I'll update the form.
On est tous les deux d'Oranje?
Yes. We were compatriots.
Did that bring you together?
No. He was too old for that. And from another part of Oranjenrijk. I didn't even understand his accent. What brought us together wasn't Oranje. It was bad habits.
Sex. Alcohol.
Quel âge avait-il, mademoiselle?
He was 42.
42? Are you sure? I would have had him above 50.
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no. We even celebrated his birthday, like, some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days. He had little reason to lie to me.
We were slightly off then. Thank you for clearing it up.
The adversary one.
Couleur de ses yeux?
Blue. Light blue. They were like little blue galaxies, you know? It was strange, seeing those eyes in his fucked up face. Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly. And he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, what with all the scarring. It was quite something, watching him speak.
He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth?
Yes. Severe. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes.
Ah, yes. His hair, if you can...
It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made it oily. Not nice to stroke. I couldn't convince him to leave it alone.
C'est le tatouage qu'il avait, qu'est-ce que ça signifie?
Oh, that.
It's clear she liked it.
C'était ses états de service?
Sure. Service history. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though.
Comment ça?
How? Imagine him lying in bed. Freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course. Tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some. He's smoking and drinking, of course. And his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them. Maybe even thousands. And the woman goes like, "What was this, baby?" And he says, "That was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that." So she goes, "Okay, but what's this, baby?" And he's like, "Saw some bat shit there. Killed some loincloths." And so it goes. Star after star. Port after port. Third world country after third world country.
La femme, c'était vous.
Oh yeah.
Pourriez-vous nous dire ce que tout ça veut dire exactement?
No, thank you. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them.
Go on.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms, from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Orania needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer. For money. He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some people in the Semenine Islands. And on other islands, too. All of the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself.
Et pour toutes les précisions.
Change of topic, perhaps?
J'avoue qu'il a connu une mort agréable.
Why do you ask?
Just have her answer the question. Don't give explanations.
Je veux bien juste répondre à ma question.
I don't think he enjoyed dying, officer. He had too much left to do. Too many third world conflicts. Couldn't tap out just yet.
Parce qu'on a terminé avec les questions.
All right. Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee. Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42?
Qu'elle a dit alors oui.
Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of mortality. He was 42 years old.
Veux-tu en venir?
How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder? You could ask either one of them.
À votre avis, quel est mon âge?
How old do I think you... I don't know. 1, 2... I don't know what I'm supposed to say. How old is a newborn cop who doesn't remember he's a cop?
J'ai 45 ans.
Sure he is. You know, age is just a number.
Yes, but for him that number is higher than 45.
Wait. This requires scientific measurements.
On voit la sauce.
To the laboratorium.
Wow. Générateur de date de naissance. Vous avez l'air d'avoir 58 piges et votre corps en accuse 60. Ah mais je suis con, j'ai été proche de la retraite. Pourquoi j'ai dit ça moi? Votre esprit semble avoir vécu un jour ou 100 ans. Les jours comme les siècles sont plus longs qu'ils ne le devraient, mais alors depuis combien de temps cette chose attachée à votre conscience foule-t-elle la croûte terrestre? Il est temps de vous triturer les méninges, l'ancien. Quand êtes-vous né? Quand et où? Oh, ça me donne aucun problème. Ok. Ouais.
Whoa. In your hand.
Regardez la
But what
petite
a
botte de
funny
liquide.
little cat. Don't
Par la boîte.
the container is warm to the touch. Or is that just the anticipation? You suck a minuscule drop of extremely chemical smelling liquid into your mouth. There, it seeps into your
Ça a le
tongue.
goût
It
d'essence.
tastes like many things, all melting into one conflagration in the back of your throat. As you look around, no, of course not really. It's just a metaphor. The effect of this warmth, it makes you want to share your discovery with Kim.
Ça va vraiment m'utile pour mon travail.
Already you can tell you're going to be slurping a lot more Pyrrolidon. This stuff is going to give you insight into that little flickering if you can keep the vom
In the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a Perolidon button. It gives +1 to psyche skills. Empathy, Suggestion, Authority, Inland Empire, Esprit de Corps.
Now that you've acquired some stimulants, it's time to raise the peptide bottle. Press one nostril close and inhale furiously with the other. The rush is almost immediate. It tastes bitter and cost. Now the taste is slowly receding into your throat. The rush is growing in intensity. Your little heart pounding like a bird. You could work with this high. Like, literally work. Solve the case. File some papers. Maybe clean up your hostel room. Then solve another case. Then start a side investigation into the Time for a little truth. Tell the lieutenant you did some. Clear the air.
Kim, j'ai pris un peu de speed et j'espère que ça vous dérange pas, c'est pour les raisons pro.
I'm not your mother. I don't care. Do what you have to do.
As long as you remain functional.
Cool.
Spring.
In the bottom right corner of the screen.
Ouais.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of... Yes, at last. You find a way to piece them together using the alphanumeric code on
Harry
the
Dubois, ouais.
HDB 41. Why, yes, every last alpha...
Je sais déjà.
HDB.
Ah oui.
That's comforting to hear. Now, detective, this one is relatively easy to reconstruct.
Vous pouvez mettre pause et lire si vous voulez.
True love is
C'est histoire de passer le test.
The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the bell lectures have the case files do not show you. The crew agrees to clean up after the 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message. A staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition. Did someone ask what you believe in? AK, you were so drunk. Leslie, the only way for threatening. Fine. It's plain to see from the files that he must have, in the process, killed them. He came at us and at us. Can't get out of his apartment, which is also why not much has changed.
It's you again. What is it?
Je parle à Classier de la bande.
Dan.
Y'a rien. Elle campe sur ses positions.
Fucking fucker. You're the worst cops in Revachol. I gave you gold on that tape.
Elle n'a pas vraiment pris ça au sérieux.
Fucking fuckity fucker. And what did she say then? That it's fine. People are supposed to be like that.
Sounds like he wanted it to change her mind about the hanged man. This is definitely personal.
Elle dit qu'elle aimerait bien devenir Canada si c'était possible.
Yes. In fact, I think she thought it was a little funny.
Funny? No good goddamn psycho whore. Alright. All fucking righty then. I guess it's good then.
Please try to control yourself in the presence of visitors, Titus.
This is just perfect. Just fucking perfect. Any thoughts on this, lawman?
Women are crazy. Irrational. That's what you're thinking, right? Also, your fists are itching for a bump.
Toi, Frank m'a dit, qu'est-il arrivé?
I already told you. We fucking hanged him.
There's less gusto in his voice now. His men too. are growing increasingly.
Come on, Titus. The stakes are too high here. There will be blood on the streets. The tribunal, remember. I know you're tired. Why don't you just...
You know what? I am tired. I'm tired of you, them, and the whore upstairs. Next time you see her, tell her Titus said, "Fuck off!"
This is the petulant rage of someone who's at the end of their wits.
That lying, scamming. We're done. This is over. You understand? Your little investigation is over. Yeah.
On the floor, beer drips out of the can into a small puddle. No one does anything about it.
What is this quiet funeral shit? All we need is some beers in us. Bartender, 20 beers for the Dock Workers Union.
Why do we make it 40, huh? Why do we make it 100 beers? You're not loud enough.
100 beers? Now we're talking. Hoppity hop over here, cafeteria manager.
The window might be closing. The more beers they get in them, the less cooperative they will be.
Rhétorique. Ah, super. Là, j'ai peut-être des vêtements. Ouais.
It's you again. What is it?
Je vais tenter, on verra bien. 58%, c'est pas mal.
Convince
Bien, bien, bien.
Titus he's being manipulated. You should know by now. Titus Hardy will never falter.
Un de ces gars voudra.
Just remember, it's about more than Glasia. It's about these men and Martinez. Their district. Their responsibility. Outside, under the rising sun, tattered and in ruins, the windows of the cafeteria aglow with her morning light.
C'est fini alors, affaire classée, on rentre chez nous Kim.
Huh? He'll get it. Go on.
Et note Kim et Martinez, on vous tue parce qu'on ne vous aime pas.
Got it. Kill you because they don't like you. All because...
Bring that
No.
up one more time, and you won't get to write that report.
The man's fists under the table are balled. You can tell from his neck and shoulders. He means it.
Yes, I understand, Alain. That's your name, right, Alain? You'll kill us. That's what they do in the Wild North.
Ils vous pendent comme à l'époque des barbares en exhibant votre
It
cadavre.
wasn't that. It wasn't... We just couldn't get him down, okay?
That's it. That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Now go in for the...
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do. Steel yourself. Push on. Just ignore Theo.
Sinon quoi, vous allez me tuer? Vous l'avez tué lui sans aucune raison?
We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when...
Shut up, Angus!
T'es déjà mort quand vous l'avez pendu?
Fatty! Say one more thing to the cops and I'll...
Dennis, stand down, or I'll beat your head in. Theo, Take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control. Angie, where's your goddamn inhaler? You sound like you're dying.
I left it home. I can't get it. I'm too fucked.
Why are you so fucking fat, Angus? Now it's all pointless. Because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Titus. I told you just give her up.
Lizzie, your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Everard.
Fine. I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast.
What just happened between these two? You're in. He's all yours. Questions?
Alors, qui a tué le mercenaire?
Not yet. Just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere. So that's a clue.
D'après elle, le tir est venu de l'extérieur, quelque part derrière la fenêtre. À quoi pensez-vous?
I'm thinking someone's past caught up with them.
Hers, you mean?
She's got one of those checkered pasts. The shot could have missed. Could have been meant for her.
I like that. Been thinking the same thing myself.
Et son passé à lui, vous en savez un peu aussi?
My dude. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They got guns, training, years of bad blood, probably. Or it could have been someone else from Crenell. Tell you what I'd do. Check out the coast for vantage points. Maybe consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do. If I wasn't too busy doing this clown dance with you.
He's calm now. Threw all that turmoil away and became himself again.
Donc vous ne l'avez pas tué, il était déjà mort.
He nods.
You hanged the corpse to cover up the real cause of death. What was it?
We're not sure. Probably a bullet. The wound was difficult to see.
The coroner and his assistant are wrapped in blue. Hands covered in blue gloves. Mouths covered by blue masks. Bodies by blue aprons. The coroner wipes his brow, scalpel still in his hand. Get the light. Shine it in his mouth. He tells his assistant. The coroner squats to better see the light illumines the darkness inside. Well, shit. Can't blame them for missing that. Get the saw, Alan. This just got fun.
Because the girls asked us to. They were in some shit.
Fille.
Did she kill him?
Cop, I have no idea. The girl says she didn't.
He doesn't think she did. Or at least he hopes she didn't.
Qu'est-ce qui passait dimanche soir?
Alasije came down. She seemed really out of it. Drugged up, even more than usual. Bug-eyed and gurning, you know? Not in a fun way. It looked like she'd redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I knew someone had died. I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario. Only in reverse.
Good analogy, boss.
You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. You're still on the bench. And you keep taking it easy too, Angus.
That's okay with the fat man, still wheezing there. He couldn't speak if he wanted to.
C'est passé qu'ensuite?
We went upstairs. Sure as day the merc was dead. There was a bullet hole through the window. Fucking dirty sheets and bottles everywhere.
C'est que la fenêtre a été échangée.
Tibbs patched the window. And the corpse. We hanged.
Qui est Tibbs?
Nah, he's my brother. He's in the window replacement business.
Right now, he's grateful he hasn't gotten his brother into this mess.
Si Classier ne l'a pas tué, alors pourquoi toute cette
You may
mascarade?
have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own.
Rien remarqué du tout de quel genre de pétrin vous voulez
They
parler.
can't show up on police radar kind. There are people after her. From the old world. Where she came from.
Les gens, qui sont-ils?
They're powerful, connected to the moral intern. She's clearly afraid for her life. Says if she showed up in your systems, she'd be ghosted away.
And why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder?
Why would I? I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing.
Mais qui a eu l'idée de le pendre, c'est elle?
In a manner of speaking.
Vous voulez
We
dire?
had help from another girl. It was her idea to hang him, and I liked it. For political reasons. It sent a good message.
Ah, trafiquante de drogue, la 8e mardi.
Fella, you think too much. He's off all right. You're gonna hurt your head.
A little too far there, but you're definitely right.
That woman is just affiliated with the Hardy Boys. You don't know her, anyway.
Le cannibale, est-ce qu'il y a une hardie,
We're
Titus?
Hardy Boys, and that's it.
Vous pouvez m'en dire plus sur cet affilié?
Nope, you're not getting to her. It's Klasia you want to talk to.
The lieutenant gives a smile only you can see.
Désolé d'avoir causé une
Me
dispute.
too.
Merci pour ces infos.
You do that. Hey, cop, before you go.
Suddenly, the wind picks up outside. You hear it rattling the large windows in their frames. It carries newspapers, circles the whirling in rags in a warm column.
She, Klasia, came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. Now, she refused that protection.
Still, after all this headache,
Vous préfériez quand même qu'on l'embarque pas?
That's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a couple of ruins.
We'll take that into account.
Eh bien. On quitte pas le Whirling in Rags là. Hein. On apprend beaucoup de choses. Du coup, c'était peut-être par là qu'il a tiré. Ah, je sais pas. Alors.
It's always good to see you.
something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate.
On nous a tout
I
raconté.
understand.
Vous avez bien mené en bateau.
I know. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. For all of this, for wasting your time.
Why did you waste our time then?
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. Out of the shit I'd gotten into.
Is she implying the Hardy Boys are the law?
Pas la bande Hardy qui fait la loi, c'est nous.
I know that. But the people around here, they don't see it that way. And if I am to stay here, I need to get along with them.
Pas une raison.
I am not. There is...
You're right. There's more.
Ah
You
non.
answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and a grand expanse of water reaches over the bay and to the horizon.
plus
The
loin.
tail, the Muindi Isola, the Occident, and then Oranje, the old world, the conference centers, the people who are angry at her past.
Qu'est-ce que les liens de la MCR et la morale interne viennent de faire dans tout ça?
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts.
C'est quoi l'histoire? Vous avez fait quoi?
Just business. But bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will...
What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill. Well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
Here we go. For once, you seem to have her off guard.
Qu'est-ce que vous avez fait pour que ces gens vous pourchassent comme
It's
ça?
not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here.
Crache le morceau.
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again. With a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
The job was Lou's doing County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lou Scott conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them.
But she really destroyed them. She still feels it.
As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too, along with Lou Scott and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
Vous êtes foutu dans une
It
belle
is.
merde.
Many people lost their jobs. Not just C-suite. Ordinary people. What I did to get to accounting, a lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder.
That can wait. Look into her eyes. There's more.
Qu'est-ce que vous avez fait?
One of them killed themselves because of me.
Pas facile à gérer.
How do you deal with anything? It's all just... How do you do it?
Moi non plus, je gère rien
There
du tout.
you have it. The way of the warrior.
Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé ici la nuit de sa
We
mort?
were there. Together. In bed, I mean.
Exactement ce qui s'est
Okay.
passé.
He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was
Ah
on
oui.
my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open. Dumb. I could see. I could...
A great pain moves through her. A dark and indefinite wave.
I knew he was dead. Before he fell down on top of me.
You were right. He did enjoy the moment of his death.
Je confirme le sentiment que j'ai eu, il a vraiment trouvé sa mort agréable.
Yes, but how did you know that?
He just had a hunch. Detectives have those sometimes.
Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé
He was
ensuite?
heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs. I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails.
Cigarette.
Oh,
Désolé.
so am I.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off, much more than usual.
Titus a dit que vous allez l'air plus défoncé que d'habitude.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Good thinking. Clear your head. You should clear your head. Get into his mind.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No,
Qu'est-ce que vous avez fait ensuite?
nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot. Just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore. So I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there.
Run, woman. Run past them and out into the streets where it's dark and people move. To the lorries at the intersection, as far as you can.
Qu'est-ce que vous faites encore là?
I already ran. I ran from an entire Isola. I can't run any further. Not with these people.
Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé quand vous êtes arrivé en bas?
Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Ruby?
Petite parenthèse, c'est qui Ruby?
Ruby. You know, the leader.
The leader? Of what?
The Hardy Boys.
On a dit que c'était Hardy, le chef des Hardy.
Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer.
This Ruby, in her phrasing, is entrusted with great power. She trusts her. So do the others.
Would you say she is the 8th Hardy Boy?
Why not?
Très bien, poursuivons. Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé ensuite?
Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
To mislead you, they were tampering with the body.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
We completely missed the tampering. Looks like you got there in time. What was this, 20 minutes after death?
Oops.
About 20, yes. Ruby explained it would make the blood... You know what he does.
Que vous faites ensuite?
Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out.
Elle a dit half an hour, une demi-heure.
Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would.
Que faisiez-vous pendant la pendaison?
Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. That we should lay low or something. So I did.
Et elle est où, Ruby?
I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys.
Est-ce que vous avez entendu un coup de feu?
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding.
The gunshot wasn't that loud. This is something to keep in mind when assessing the distance of the shot.
Vous croyez que c'est les types qui vous poursuivent qui l'ont tué?
That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break.
Et alors?
I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone so they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me.
Que ce soit vrai ou pas, ça prend en
We can't
considération.
go after loose cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If
Va
there's
voir
one
appeler les
thing I
flics si
know,
vous vous
it's that
planquez.
you'll get nothing from there, because I'm an idiot.
Which is an indicator of truth.
Oh pas non, pourquoi vous avez appelé?
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off, and that little fucker threw stones at him. He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud. Thud. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Ravachol.
Oh God. That was a lie too. Who made the call then? Don't be paranoid, man. It's unbecoming of a police officer.
Et la vitre a été changée quand?
Last week. Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it.
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there. Yes, you see the glass spot.
On attend
She
de terminer.
He's thinking, are we done here? Or should we arrest her? She's a flight risk and she lied to you. She should be taken into custody.
J'ai essayé le lancer art dramatique du coup. Ça j'ai des trucs art dramatique. J'oublie toujours où c'est. Enfin j'ai des trucs. J'en ai qu'un.
I was just thinking,
28%.
what a nice day for questions pertaining to...
Who?
Let's go.
What? Dear God, you've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to everyone. She's not candid at all. She's smoke and mirrors and willow-wisp. She probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately, before she further entangles you in her. Take it easy. Don't overcompensate with this course correction. See?
Kim, rappelez-moi pourquoi on l'a pas encore coffré.
There may be grounds here, at least for an extended detention.
A little whimper. The young woman hears you. She's looking around.
Vous savez quoi? Je crois pas que ce soit vous qui avez prévenu la police.
I did. What is this? I called your desk or whatever it is. The numbers are all over town. Call 8-100-2. There was an older woman on the other end. It sounded like she was smoking. She took my complaint. She coughed.
Anyone could know that, sire, by looking around and calling the desk. I don't believe a single word she says.
What time did you make the call?
Thursday night. It was late, sometime after 12.
It checks out.
Vous appelez pas vraiment Classy avant de...
I agree. You wouldn't give us your real name, not when people are after you.
Okay.
C'est quoi d'accord?
Okay, it's not.
Bien, dites-moi la
I log
vérité.
your work every week. It's all transmitted to common, sir. I couldn't just beg you not to enter my name. So I lied. Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. I'm so tired of it.
Comment vous appelez en vrai?
It's Katarzine Alasije.
Je continue. Ravi de vous rencontrer enfin, Katarzine Alasije.
She nods. Her round eyes meet yours. They seem moist from the wind.
Et l'histoire
on the roof.
du passeport, c'est des conneries ça aussi?
No. It's submerged in a plastic buoy on the coast, in the reeds. It just doesn't say Clausia Amandu. It says Anouk Mea Smith.
Falsified documents?
Passport and visa. Given to me by my employer. I can't even use them. My employer probably leaked the name, Mea Smith, to hurt me.
Why would they do that?
I didn't show up to a rendezvous. They don't take that lightly. I didn't show up because I was afraid they'd do something to me. The job was finished. I'm just a liability now.
She fears an arrest right here and now. This has been an awful turn of events for her.
West of the boardwalk, in the reeds, on the coast there. I put it there when I first arrived. Haven't been there since. I'm not sure I could even find it now. It's useless.
The lieutenant makes a note of it.
You're welcome to it. It's in the reeds northwest of here, past a broken sewage pipe, right near the waterline.
La bouée se trouve dans les roseaux au nord-ouest d'ici. Vous passerez devant un tuyau d'égout endommagé, proche du bord. Ça se trouve, vous êtes même pas Miss Oranier 37 en réalité.
I am. They can never take my sash and my scepter from me.
Yes, they can. For luck, she
Il ira
nods,
comme ça.
her back straight, ready for whatever is next. She slowly. You are. This is not the end of this. This window is pristine on the inside. Golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the single bed.
Quelle position est-ce qu'il se trouve?
Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth, a ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain, ending him.
Où est-ce qu'elle vient?
From the roof outside, location A prime. The glass fractures around the bullet hole, shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back.
Examine le point A' le toit.
The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points.
C'est normal de pas trouver des résidus de tir à
They
l'extérieur?
could have been. Then the rain and slush and wind washed it away. This was more than a week ago.
Du coup, j'ai 80% de chance que le tir prenne du toit, c'est ça?
72%. With a weapon that's good for medium range, like a rifle or sports pistol. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one shot. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium, a well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside, in the darkness, too busy with their own bodies.
La balle n'a pas pu être tirée de l'intérieur de la pièce?
Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, detective.
Est-ce qu'il y a des éléments qui contredisent A' le toit?
None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any.
Est-ce qu'on peut envisager un autre point d'origine plus éloigné?
That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez?
Examinez les silhouettes
The man
spectrales.
does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization.
Extrapoler le rayon pour inclure l'ensemble de Martinez.
According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime.
Plus précisément,
B prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet, detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on.
B' la promenade.
700 meters away. The likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account.
C'est où ça? C'est carrément de l'autre côté là? C'est loin, hein?
1.2 kilometers away, the least likely of these positions. Let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it, possibly from a tent. No. 1 kilometer away, an unlikely point of origin. Beyond the docks somewhere, on an islet in the bay of Martinaise,
Ah, c'est
perhaps.
forcément pas là.
There are islets there, badly charted as they may. The shot would have been a small miracle, 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the
Tim, vous
islets
pensez que le
is
tir provient d'un emplacement plus éloigné que le toit dans Martinez?
From where, precisely?
Les emplacements B.
I see you have given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance?
C'est beaucoup moins probable que le scénario du toit, mais pas négligeable.
Okay, well, we should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nests if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out one by one.
Parce qu'en plus, tout là-bas, il y a une espèce de bunker là.
It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version. It fits the hidden path through the whirling. A simple hypothesis.
Bon. Et ben ça commence à être bien concret là. Mais on commence à être un peu long sur la vidéo, donc on se verra la prochaine fois pour continuer l'enquête, trouver où est le tireur et qui a vraiment tué Lily. Allez, merci d'avoir suivi la vidéo, ciao.